All right, all right, all right, all right. Here we go. Week 7 recap. FML. Listen, short week. Games got played really quick this week, except for one game, Denver, Kansas City. Wasting everybody's time. It's going to be Kansas City winning by a lot. Unfortunately, we have to wait till tomorrow early for that game. Otherwise, we probably would have advanced, get a ton of games played today. League would be rolling. Instead, we got to wait for this game, Kansas City versus Denver. It's going to be a horrible game. Kansas City wins by a ton. That'll be tomorrow. But let's go ahead. Let's dig into the rest of the schedule. Listen, you enjoy the show, you like what you hear, you get a little insight, little kind of nuggets. Hit me with a subscribe on Twitch. Follow. This way you get the alerts. Go to YouTube. All these episodes get loaded on YouTube right after. At Coach Aponte. Hit it with a like. Hit it with a subscribe. Big shout out real quick to Blessum Radio. Doc with a great one. Listen to the episode this morning. He had on J Dub with the 4-2 hot Atlanta Falcons. Listen, it's worth a listen. Very good. Some insightful stuff on the rise and fall of Madden 18 J Dub. Um, Give it a listen. It's about 50 minutes. It's worth your time. Put it on in the car while you're driving. Put it on while you're doing something. Some really good stuff there. So here we go. Let's dig into this. Let's get to the schedule. Let's take a look at this week. Number 1, Vikings, Cowboys. Cowboys on vacation. Jerry's world is empty. Vikings are going to come up with the force win. Big help for them inside their division. I think they would have won this game anyway against the Cowboys. Vikings offense and defense is just really good. Billy Baker probably would have had a good day, but it probably would have ended in a loss. So Vikings will beat the Cowboys off of a force win because the Cowboys are busy. This takes the Cowboys in their division. They're just dead last. I'm not saying that they've given up, but this season is going to be a loss as well. So unfortunate for them. Let's move it on. Saints, Bills, prime time, and ooh, he classy boogie, 42-25. New Orleans was with Buffalo here in the first half, and actually all through 3 quarters. It was 20-18, and then 28-25 going into the fourth quarter. So it was a tight game. Bills pull away 42-25. Let's break it down, take a little bit better look. Rushing yards, New Orleans has the advantage by about 50 yards, 40 to 50 yards. The passing game, we expect that to be Buffalo's strength, and they forced 2 turnovers. Let's take a look at some of these players. Josh Allen, over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions at 68%. So, listen, Josh Allen, gunslinger. Last game, he was like 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. This is 3-0, over 300 yards. This is the recipe for him winning, which is he cannot make these crucial mistakes, especially in the red zone with Josh Allen. Josh Allen now been in the league for 7 years. He's probably a 90 something plus overall. He's not going to get any better. So this is prime Josh Allen. Maybe this is the window for the Bills to reestablish themselves in the AFC East, but once again, AFC East is the easiest division in all of FML. So the winner of this one, this division, is probably going to get that 4 seed, and then they're going to have to fight somebody else, and we'll see how far they can make it in the playoffs. Kyler Murray, not a bad day for him. 3 touchdowns and interception. Gets sacked 3 times. We talked about this. You get sacked 3 times. We've got to use these legs. We got to get out. We got to get out of the pocket. Otherwise, you just have a 5'10" statue out there, quarterback, which is not good. 35 attempts, 22 of 35, 62%. Not bad. In the run game, Elliott 13 for 74, Gibson 15 for 78. Kyler Murray finally does use his legs, doesn't get away from 3 sacks, but 5 for 45, averaging 9 yards. So that's almost averaging a first down every time he gets out of the pocket, or if he's running read options, stuff like that. That's pretty good for him. I think that using that dimension that Kyler gives you is going to get the offense rolling even better. Just having Kyler stand back there as a statue just isn't going to get it done. Use him, roll him, get him out of there. And here come the Bills. Let's go into the receiving portion. DeAndre Moles, 2 for 98. AJ Wallace, 4 for 88. You got Knox, Davis, everybody pitching in. So you got at least 6 guys over here getting at least 2 catches, with AJ Wallace leading the way, 4 for 88. That's a really good job of just spreading it around. Molds with 2 catches, both of them touchdowns. That's a pretty good job from the Bills. From the Saints, Perry Atkins, his second big game in a row. Um, and I don't know, maybe he had a back-to-back X Factor game. Not really sure what he's doing. But he's decided that Perry Atkins at 6'2", 200 pounds, pretty decent side receiver, is his go-to for these last 2 games. Once again, unfortunately, it doesn't end up in a win. And we'd like to see Francis Lisby get more involved. Francis with another disappointing game, 3 for 32. Having one guy be a threat is great, but it's still 10 for 131. That's only averaging 13 yards a catch and a touchdown, which is great. Let's see if we can get Lisby just more involved. Get a little 1-2 punch, something. Tough out here for the Saints. Still winless. They lose it 42-25. Saints go to 0-7. Buffalo is a winning record now, and they sit atop the AFC East. Broncos Chiefs, like I said, we got to wait for this one. It's going to be the Chiefs by a lot. It's unfortunate. That'll be tomorrow. Whether you guys watch or not is up to you. I will not be watching. Good call. Atkins did have a dead game. Yeah, Atkins with the dev game. I mean, there's not really a reason to focus in on Atkins unless you're trying to dev him, right? Because you still have Francis Lisby. You've got tight end play. You've got Gibson. Why Atkins? So that's 2 weeks in a row where he just has had big games. I don't know what dev you get with 10 catches for 131 and only 1 touchdown. You probably missed it, because I think that's like a star dev is 100, superstars like $150, I think. X Factors like 700 yards. Really tough. Moving on, next game. Here we go. Jets versus Patriots. An AFC East division game. And who would have thought it? The New York Jets in second place, I believe, in the AFC East. And now with a winning record. And it's all because of offense, and offense. Defense gives up 24 points. Not a big deal. But the Jets' recipe is we got to outscore everybody. They don't really run the ball well. 29 rushes. New England with 47 rush yards. But in the pass game, 382. And I think Trevor Lawrence has finally found his groove. Throwing to guys like Scary Terry, Albert O. This is a great job by the Jets. We're going to look at their roster in a second. Defense creates 2 turnovers. Seems like it's the difference. Let's look deeper into it. Trevor Lawrence, 400 back-to-back week dev is less yards. Ooh, okay. So maybe he did hit the dev threshold. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out with Prime, because right now in his season he's 0-7. So he's playing for devs. He's playing for fun. He doesn't have his first-round pick in probably one of the most tragic trades we've seen in FML history. He doesn't have his first round pick, and he's having the worst season he's ever had with a better quarterback. Trevor Lawrence, 405, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. This is very un-Asian-like. Asian has turned the corner. 35 attempts, 29, 35, 82%. This guy didn't miss. This is unbelievable play by him. This is Asian understanding and building his offense into what he wants it to be that fits him. And now he is running it to perfection with the right playbook he wants, the right personnel, the right mindset. Jermichael Peck, the rookie, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, gets sacked 4 times at 57%. That's an average day for a rookie. I mean, you love the touchdowns here. He's got 3 of them for almost 300 yards, but the 2 turnovers and the low percentage is what's going to end up costing you later on. The Jets not known for their lockdown defense, but they can create turnovers because they do mix it up on the defensive side with coverages and things like that, trying to keep you guessing. Let's get into the rushes. Here we go. We've got 9 for Patterson, 1 for Gilmore, so New England gets their 10. Nguanu with 11 for 29. So both teams, they try to run, they can't do it. This is more of a passing game, and let's get into the passing stats then. New York Jets, Albert O, 12 for 196. Dominates the New England Patriots defense single-handedly. Scary Terry, 6 for 113 and 2 touchdowns. So Albert O, who is one of the fastest tight ends in the game, used to be a Denver Bronco, coupled with Fant, is just a matchup nightmare for everybody right now. Scary Terry can beat you deep. That's 17 catches from the tight end positions. A lot of double tight sets right here coming from the New York Jets, and they are just feasting. This is a really great job offensively from them. We're really excited to see what they keep doing here. Patriots on the other side. Julio Jones, 2 for 114, 2 touchdowns. Tevin Moore, 3 for 100. A lot of deep shots here. Trying to take deep shots, trying to take long, some long pass plays. With a tight end, Hunter Henry, 5 for 64. I think you live by the long ball, die by the long ball. I don't know what I don't know what it is that the Patriots are doing wrong. They've only won 1 or 2 games. They're struggling. Could be the rookie quarterback. Could be the Julio Jones is one of your best receivers, and he's in his 14th year in the league. They're going to have to figure something out offensively. I'd probably keep the quarterback, keep the rookie running back, right? They've got 2 rookies. You got to find another explosive threat here on offense because Julio Jones doesn't have that much time left in his lifespan here in FML. 33-24, Jets with a big win. New England going to have another top draft pick coming up real soon. Cleveland, Cincinnati. So not a shocking result. We pretty much feel as though Cleveland, who's just been a juggernaut lately, a great team, is going to continue to win. But how this game panned out, how it happened, was not what we expected. Cincinnati jumps out to a 13-3 lead in the first half. They dominate the first half. You can look at all the arrows clearly going towards Cincinnati. But the one arrow that they don't want, and this is really exclusively Cincinnati here, is the turnover arrow. Cincinnati thrives off turnovers. They need them in order to compete at a high level and win these games. That they turn the ball over 4 times is the difference of the game. They lose it 20-13, getting outscored 17-0 in the second half. Let's dig deeper into it. Baker Mayfield, 219 in the air, 2-1, gets sacked 4 times. Great defense by the Bengals, and it's 75%. So they get 4 sacks on the Browns. They get Mayfield to throw an interception. Usually that's a really good job to get it done. But the biggest problem still is David Cummings. David Cummings, the quarterback, 284 in the air, and it sounds good. The touchdown, that's a great thing, but 3 interceptions, and you cannot throw these interceptions and think that you're going to beat a high-level user, arguably the best user in FML, top 3 on everybody's list. You can't beat him giving him the ball an extra 4 times. Cummings gives him the ball 3 more times at 61% completion percentage. Let's go to the Russian. What a great job here by both teams stopping the run. Hines with a few more carries, 19 for 63. Chuba 14 for 42. But they both average about 3 apiece, so they both had to take to the air. This fits the Browns stopping the run. They love to play a great pass defense. Denzel Ward, JOK, all these other amazing athletes they have out there. They get a lot of picks, a lot of turnovers, and just David Cummings is not that quarterback who apparently can keep that ball safe. Let's get to the receiving here. Bengals, though. Corin Neighbors, like a good neighbor, Corin is there. Corin Neighbors, 4 catches for 72. All these guys just moving the sticks, moving the chains. Cooper Kupp, 1 for 59. Tyler Boyd. Got some big, long shots here. Um, you know, uh, and that's the thing. How these interceptions were thrown, I'm not really sure how that all happened. I'm gonna assume a couple deep balls, a couple 50-50s, in which the Browns have significantly, better players. Browns. Schwartz, 5 for 105, deep threat, averaging over 21 yards a carry. Okay. Beckham, 8 for 61, just moving chains, space eater. But they get 6 different guys involved. The receivers take over. Njoku, 2 for 27 with a touchdown. And the Cleveland Browns win a defensive game, having to come back down 13-3 and outscoring them 17-0 in the second half. Cleveland still undefeated, on track for the 1 seed, on track for the division. The Bengals drop another division game. They just lost to the Steelers. They now lose to the Cleveland. The next time they play a division guy, whether it be the Steelers or the Ravens, that game is turned into a must win. They have to win it, or their wild card shots are in big trouble. New York Giants, Philadelphia Eagles. We've got to talk about this one. This is a tough one. The New York Giants feeling good about themselves. They got a really good quarterback now in Joe Burrow. I don't know where he fits in FML as far as elite status, but he's supposed to be an upgrade from Daniel Jones, okay? That was a very good trade for the Giants. But we're going to go over this game, and you're going to see how sometimes having better players turns out to be a curse. Let's look at it. All right. Rushing yards, 94 yards for the Eagles. We know they're going to feed Josh Jacobs. We know that's going to happen. Inside zone, trap, base, power. Maybe a sweeper, maybe a stretch. One every 10 plays, maybe. But Josh Jacobs is an inside runner, and he's going to make you pay. Okay. Passing yards with Aaron Rodgers, 206, but Burrow with 260. So they take to the air. The difference is both of these guys are equal in about offensive yards in the whole game, but the Eagles have a little bit more a balance. Turnovers, 4 turnovers for the Giants, 1 for the Eagles. This is where you're going to see how the game goes wrong. Let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers. This is a defensive game. Aaron Rodgers, 220 yards, no touchdowns, but throws an interception. 12 of 16 for 7. Goes ahead, throws 12 of 16 for 75%. Only gets sacked 1 time. The interception doesn't cost them the game, which is great. On the other hand, Joe Burrow, 243 yards. He's supposed to be the quarterback now. He's supposed to be the guy. Here's the curse of having a better quarterback is you think you can throw it into maybe some tighter windows. You think you can do some things that you wouldn't necessarily have tried with Daniel Jones. And so now they're trying to win it off of Joe Burrow's arm. Joe Burrow throws 4 interceptions. So 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. That's got to be the difference of the game because he only lost by 10, 20 of 33. So 33 attempts for Burrow. Let's get to the rushes. And listen, Josh Jacobs, like I said, 14 rushes for 59. Every single one of those yards hard earned and a touchdown. But J.K. Dobbins, 10 rushes for 38. Only 10 rushes. So has the trade get acquiring Joe Burrow completely hurt Dobbins and this New York Giants run game, which now you're allowing the defenses to only focus on one aspect, which is Joe Burrow. If you don't have to worry about the run now, you're going to get some interceptions. You're going to be able to you're only focused on the pass. In order for the Giants to win the division, get back to the NFC Championship. In order to get back to the NFC Championship game, asterisks, they're going to have to get this run game involved. It's important because the run game is going to be the key for them to keep Joe Burrow without having to throw against 8 defenders every single play. Eagles in the receiving here. Quez Watkins, Samuel, Travis Kelce, everybody. You got 4 different guys evenly spread around. They didn't throw it that much. Aaron Rodgers does a good job of spreading the love, getting some different guys involved for the Eagles. And the Giants, Kadarius Toney, Ingram, Slayton. This is actually a really good job getting multiple guys involved all over the field. Tough to defend. The problem was the interceptions with Joe Burrow. We'll see how that pans out moving forward. Like I said, I think that Dobbins is going to have to run the ball more than 10 times in order to keep that 50-50 or 60-40 illusion that's going to keep that 7th defender, 6th defender in the run fit so you can throw that ball better. Pittsburgh, Indianapolis. And here we go. This is a wild game. The Pittsburgh Steelers # change the view. I hope you're still not playing on that blimp view. Okay, maybe he changed it here in the fourth quarter, but the Indianapolis Colts up 21-9 going into the fourth quarter, get outscored 18-3 to lose it 27-24. 2 turnovers from the Colts, 1 from the Steelers, so they're kind of equal there. Steelers couldn't run the ball to save their lives against a defense from Smooth that we know is tough, but they're able to throw for 300 yards and get the win. Let's look a little deeper into it. Scott Hall, 335, 2 touchdowns, 28 of 39 for 71%. Jeremy Cook, this is Indianapolis Colts quarterback. He's mediocre at best. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Really good job on the completion percentage, but if you throw the ball to the other team 2 times, you're giving them 2 extra possessions, and you lose by 3. Let's get to the rushing here. This is a really good job from Jonathan Taylor. 16 rushes for 94 yards. Listen, I believe, the Colts up 21-9 going into the fourth, they stepped off the gas. They weren't as aggressive. They're like, hey, we're just going to rely on our defense. We'll run the ball. This is where I've learned and people have learned. In this league in FML, nobody is giving up. Nobody. You have to stay aggressive until the game is out of reach as per the rules. Because everybody else they're going to keep fighting and they're going to keep coming back. Jonathan Taylor has a really good day on the ground. Probably should have had a few more rushes. Pittsburgh barely rushes at all. They couldn't get it going. Great defense by the Colts, but they get 12 rushes for about 30 yards, less than 3 yards a carry. Colts receiving group. Once again, there's not really anybody here that we're worried about. Michael Pittman Jr., 4 for 77. This kind of fits Smooth's offense. He doesn't have any speedsters. Corey Davis, not a speedster. He's 8 years into the league. Okay. He's not a speedster. Where's his tight end, right? There's his tight end, his rookie, 3 for 54. Smooth's whole personality is we're going to play good defense, keep the ball in front of us, then we're going to run the football, easy throws, West Coast offense style. This fits all of what he's doing. I'd love to see Smooth get some kind of deep threat, though, so that he can extend the field for when they try to pack the box on Taylor. Right now, you could say Corey Davis is his deep threat. He had 1 catch for 52, but I really don't think that he is, especially since he's a little bit older with 8 years into the league. Let's go to the Steelers here. So, Steelers, and unfortunately, it seems as though the Steelers still using the same view. # change the view campaign is not working. But hey, do what's good for you. If it makes you feel better and you're winning, by all means, keep your blimp view. I'm not going to watch it. Can't do it. We're boycotting it. # change the view. Steelers in receiving, Phillip Lindsay, 8 for 77 out of the backfield. He's the leading receiver. Uh, you get Irv Smith Jr. with 5, Claypool with 5. Look at this. You had 7 guys here with multiple catches. Philip Lindsay eats today to lead the comeback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, outscoring them 18-3 in the fourth quarter. Great comeback win for the Steelers. Hashtag change of view, 27-24. This doesn't affect the Steelers, though. They're going to finish either third or fourth. They do own a win over Debo in their division. I think Debo's record is better, and he's going to continue to play better. Steelers probably still end up last in the division. The Colts, man, they win a week, really good. Then they have this game, they lose it. And this is the inconsistency here. I think the Colts are in that third, fourth place team. They could go second, depends on Mancha and how Mancha's playing. Um, so right now, with the way that Mancha's playing, I think second place in the South is wide open. Anybody could take it. If that's the Colts, probably not Tennessee. Maybe the Colts have the best spot at getting second place in the South. But notice how we're only talking about second place. The AFC South still is going to have to go through the Jacksonville Jaguars. Final score, 27-24. Comeback win for Pittsburgh. Hashtag change the view. And here we go. Speaking about Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars going against the Los Angeles Shelbys. Offensive game, offensive explosion here. And really, the score doesn't tell the game. This game was over. It's 14-6 at half, and then he goes ahead and has an explosive third quarter. So it's 42-21. It's 42-21 going into the fourth. So once again, you're up 42-21 going into the fourth. It's natural. Listen, we as offensive guys, we try to shut it down, run the ball a bit more, take a little bit of clock, be a little bit less explosive, because, we're not trying to throw the game away. We're not trying to do anything. But everyone in this league, they continue to play up until the last possible moment until it's a rule violation, right? So 45-38, the Shelbys try to come back. They score 17 in the fourth, but it was already too much damage done by Jacksonville. Let's get deeper into it. Rushing is fine. Of course, we expect Jacksonville to have a much better pass game. 4 turnovers from the Shelbys. 2 from the Jaguars. I mean, Beast is really good at defense as well. It's his offense that struggles. Let's get deeper, right? Zach Wilson, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions at 21-27. If this dude would have played out that fourth quarter, he probably would have thrown 8 touchdowns. It would have been a beatdown. But they step off the gas. They allow the Shelbys to come back a little bit. Justin Herbert, 363, 3-3. Once again, 3 interceptions is the problem, and at 51%. So even though this is the Shelbys' best passing game of the season, it's still at 51% and 3 turnovers. You've got to stop the turnovers here. Justin Herbert, not the quarterback that everyone thought he was going to be. At this point, you can get anybody to do that. Trade him, see if you can get a haul. I'm sure Houston would pay handsomely for a quarterback. You're welcome. Here we go to the Russian. Shelby, 15 of 71, 18 for 70 from the NTN. Both of these teams with really good run defenses. So it's really tough to run on them. That's why you need the balance. It's turned out into a passing game. And if it's going to be a passing game between Malibu and the Jaguars and all their weapons, and the Shelbys and Herbert and Beast and his weapons, advantage Malibu. Oh, Lordy. And let's go. Here we go. Stephon Diggs, his biggest day of the season so far. 4 for 183 and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson. Shelby, 2 for 63. Keenan Allen. This is what we want to see. This is what you traded for. This is what you are paying for. 4 for 183 for Diggs. Now let's keep that going if you're the Shelbys. Involve Diggs. Involve Allen. Right? Get these guys more involved. And then cut down on those turnovers. And you might have a chance and maybe second place in your division. I don't think you win the division currently constructed. Going to the Jaguars, though, DJ Cyborg. The Shelbys have no answer for the tight end position. DJ Chark, 5 for 117, 3 touchdowns. Beast still in the doghouse, but getting some receptions here and contributing to the team, which is allowing him to stay on the field. But from my reports, talking to unnamed sources, I have heard that anything from an orange Gatorade to a full-size Snickers can get you Greg Beast. Think about it. Get in the DMs, talk to the GM, see what happens. Big offensive day here from Cyborg and Chark. No answer there. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, 45-38. Jacksonville, first place in their division. The Chargers drop another one with Kansas City and with Vegas figuring things out. Chargers look like they're going to be in that third place realm. Whew. Baltimore and Miami. Baltimore Ravens up 35-10 at the half. You can see Baltimore completely shut it down. The Miami Dolphins have tripped and fallen all over themselves, and they can't get up. This is like the medic life alert when we were all kids. I've fallen and I can't get up. That is exactly what's happening to Miami. They can't figure themselves out. They had one good season. They made it to the playoffs. It's over for them. This is so unfortunate, because the thing in FML is people want status. They want to go to the top. They want to be known as a guy. You need consistency in order to do that. The only thing Miami's consistent in right now is losing. 38-16. They get drummed by Baltimore. Let's talk about it. 159 on the ground. Great balance here from the Ravens. The Dolphins had to rely on the air attack, mostly because they're behind. But if they rely on the air attack, that means it's Sammy D. And Sammy D, while he's a good quarterback, is not elite to bring you back. They turned the ball over 2 times as well. Lamar Jackson, easy day for him. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 10 of 13. Could have had a bigger day if he wanted to. He did just enough to get the win and stay healthy. Good job, Lamar. Sammy D throws for 300 yards, but 2 and 2. Throws 2 balls to the other team at 59%. Not a bad day, but you're not going to be able to beat a really good user like Iota and this Ravens team. This is supposed to be the AFC East winner versus the AFC North, first, second place team, and the AFC East just gets demolished, by the AFC North. Tough game for them. First place schedule is a tough one. Saquon, 15 for 121. Lamar using his legs. Semper did a great job, right? Not getting sacked, getting out of the pocket. And Joe Mixon, 13-57. He averages 4 a carry, but when you're down already 35-10, you almost have to abandon the run. We understand it. It is what it is. If the Ravens offense is clicking, you're in big trouble. Ja'Marr Chase. Too much Ja'Marr Chase. 5 for 121. 3 touchdowns. The Dolphins, who are supposed to have a good secondary. No answer for him. No answer for the speed of Mecole Hardman, right? And Rod Tidwell. So there's only 3 guys that catch a ball. 2 of them in being receivers, all of them receivers, but Chase and Hardman getting the lion's share of that. They get 9 out of the 10 balls. And that's all they needed. They put up 35 points throwing to 2 dudes. That's a tough one. Dolphins. Taj Allen. They get the Jeff Bomber. Jalen Waddle, 5 for 59 and 2 touchdowns. Listen, I like that Waddle's getting his touches. I like that Waddle's getting in the end zone. But doesn't Waddle have like 97 speed? Isn't Waddle the deep threat? Isn't Waddle the guy that should be taking the top off? This sounds like he's catching a slant or a hitch or a drag and just running into the end zone. I like it because we want to get in the end zone. But once again, if you can't stretch the field or at least have the threat of stretching the field, which Jalen Waddle should be, you're not going to be able to run the ball. If you can't run the ball, you're going to be thrown into a lot of guys in coverage, which equals interceptions. Final score: Baltimore 38, Dolphins 16. It's just too much. The Dolphins season is lost. Baltimore started the season 0-2, climbing like we said they would, but they're trailing the Cleveland Browns, who just haven't dropped a game yet. Even in a bad game, they still find a way to win it. So, really, Baltimore seems like right now they're going to be fighting for that second place in the division. They've got to go through Debo to get it, and then that second place gets you the fifth seed. And fifth seed, most likely, will be the AFC East winner. Could be the AFC West winner. We'll see what happens. But that's what the fifth seed is going to get you. So we'll see. 38-16, Baltimore with the win. And listen, hey, we're trying our best. We're giving information out here, right? He's Malibu with the Iota's watching the show. Listen, Iota, I hope you're watching. I hope everybody watching. You take what I say, you take it to heart. This is just my opinion. But if you're getting sacked 7 times, I think it was 7. It was like 6 or 7 times. You get sacked with Lamar 6, 7 times. You're using them wrong. And I'm not saying you're spamming running outside the tackles. All I'm saying is Lamar, Kyler, some other Josh Allen's, right? Some of these guys that have those abilities to get out of the pocket quick, you should not be getting sacked that often because they just have a significant advantage. So that doesn't mean that you're, breaking the pocket and then running around and, cheesing. You can just get out the pocket, throw the ball away. To get sacked 6, 7 times, you ain't doing something right. So next game, here we go. The Arizona Cardinals versus the Tennessee Titans. Looked like a tight game after the first half. It was 14-13. And then Tennessee put their controller down, forgot how to play football. And they get outscored 21-0 in the second half to lose at 35-13. Let's dig into it. Tennessee doesn't turn the ball over. The Cardinals do once. But they dominate in the rushing yards and the pass yards with the first downs. There's nothing that they don't do well here on offense. Travis Ward, another decent day. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception at 79%. Listen, the Arizona offense is potent. It's very deliberate. He doesn't audible or hot route much. He runs a lot of these plays stock, and he just has it down to a science as to what he's doing. The difference, though, right now is that Ward is not Murray. So Ward is throwing significantly more interceptions than Murray did before he went to New Orleans. Chad Edwards. Listen, decent day from Edwards. 211. No touchdowns, but no interceptions. He doesn't turn the ball over. But 10 of 26 for 38%. Listen, I'm not an NFL quarterback. I could have done better than this. 38%? That's awful. Another horrible day for the rookie against the Arizona defense, where the defensive coordinator openly comes out in press conferences and said, I don't know what I'm doing. I just call plays and it's in God's hands. I have no clue what I'm doing. Listen, I see defenses on YouTube and Twitter. I use them. That's all I do. I have no idea what I'm doing on defense. That's what the DC comes out and says. Those 38% gets shut out in the second half. This is a bad day for Tennessee. Evans, great day on the ground. And this is where we'd like to see Arizona get back to, right? After the whole new rule implementation of, hey, man, you can't have that running back lead in receptions anymore. Silas Evans' receptions have plummeted considerably. So if you're not going to throw him the ball as much, or maybe he's just saving it for later on in the season, right? Which is a good idea. Get involved in the run game. He gets involved in the run game. 19 for 183. Tennessee has no answer. Meanwhile, in the Tennessee run game, they run the ball 10 times with their running back and fullback for 30 yards. They average 3 yards a carry. That's not enough. You're not going to beat anybody doing that. Unfortunate for them. Let's go to the Cardinals. 12 catches for the rookie Jonathan Boone. Not sure. Could this have been a dev game for good old Boone? If it was, probably got it. 12 for 184, 2 touchdowns. Devonta Smith, 5 for 50. Once again, like I said, ever since the rule implementation, Silas Evans has not been that receiving threat out of the backfield that he was last season. So a lot of this damage is being done by receivers and tight ends, and his offense is still doing well. So like I said, Cardinals, one of the better offensive scheme guys that we have. Defensively, just atrocious. But offensively, very good. Very tough to stop. Jonathan Boone with a great day, as is the rest of the receivers and tight ends. Titans, on the other hand, Oldenburg, 4 for 121. He's their best player. He's best receiver. Brandon Cooks, 11 years in the league. I mean, this guy, he's got to go. Marquise Brown, he's got to be about 97, 98 speed. Where is the deep threat? Where is the long play? It's not there. They get shut down. Tennessee, 35-13. Tough one for Tennessee. Good one for Arizona. Arizona, the league, all the league commissioners, all the league owners talking about it. They're looking at tanking accusations. They said Arizona's got to win at least 8 games in order to avoid sanctions against tanking, and they are well on their way with another win. Tennessee, on the other hand, no tanking accusations at all. We just know Tennessee's no good. They lose at 35-13. Arizona still trailing the Rams in their division. Tennessee, they're in the bottom. They'll be a top 10 pick. Green Bay and Washington. Um, Big day for Green Bay defensively. Offensively, Green Bay is going to play well. They've got a good run game. Danny Dimes is a considerably better quarterback, especially if he doesn't turn the ball over. But defensively is where Green Bay likes to hang their hat. They each force a turnover. Green Bay was up 21-7 at the half. Washington does a great job coming back to tie it at the end of 3 to make it 21 apiece. Green Bay finds a way to win it 28-21. I think this is going to come down to, at the end of the day, Washington has a good defense as well. So it's a battle of really good defenses. Who has the ability to put up more points on the board? The answer to that is Doc. Washington's offense still struggles. They just don't have enough. Daniel Jones, 278, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's always going to be my key here for good quarterback play. Don't turn the ball over. We're going to go into something real in depth about it in a little bit. But 19 of 23, 82%. What a great day by Daniel Jones. Fitzpatrick wasn't doing that. So great trade by Doc, great trade by the Packers in order to make this move for Daniel Jones to win now. This is not a developmental move. If he wanted to go the developmental route, he would have stayed with the rookie. Or the first year guy, whoever that was. This is we want to win now. This team is built to win now. That's what we want to do. Let's get Daniel Jones in here to keep the offense rolling as best as possible. Tua, only 127 yards. 11 of 16 for 68%. That's not bad. 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, right? The longest pass was 22 yards for Tua, so he's not stretching the field. And it's because they don't have any more threats. There's no Scary Terry. There's no threat there anymore in the deep game. Let's go to Russian. Kamara and Buck, both doing a really good job on the ground. Kamara, 3.5. Buck at around 6. So, both of these guys they got to stay steady with the run. They want to control the game. They want to be 50-50. Nobody's trying to, throw the ball 40 times and run it 10. Both of these guys are trying to keep you on your toes. Could be a run, could be a pass, and then read the defenses out. The biggest difference, and this is where, listen, I had said it in the beginning. I said, listen, the way that he was running Fitzpatrick in the beginning should give him still some read option opportunities to still play the game. Daniel Jones said, nope. Get out of here. I'm faster than you. I'm better than you. I'm taking every snap. So Daniel Jones still running a little bit of read option, running out of the pocket, can extend plays with his legs. 6 for 60 and a touchdown. That's a huge threat to think about defensively because very few times, unless you on purpose are using a quarterback spy, is the defense trying to account for the quarterback. So You're usually +1 in the run game. Great job by Daniel Jones and Kamara keeping them off balance. Um, and that's huge when you're trying to play defense, having to try to defend against a running quarterback. Football team, here we go. This is just unfortunate. This is just unfortunate. And listen, the Green Bay organization, they admit it. They say, listen, we need to win. That's what we're made for. That's what the city expects. That's what the organization demands. A down year for the Green Bay Packers organization is barely making it into the playoffs, and that's still not good enough. The fans won't tolerate it. So big move by the Green Bay organization to pick up Daniel Jones. But let's look at the Washington football team's receiving core. Equanimeous St. Brown. The leading receiver is the running back Smash Williams. Ragnar Lothbrok, the tight end out of Ohio State, another running back with 2 catches. So the running back position gets 6 catches. There's just no deep threat. Where's the longest pass was 22 yards. There's no so as a defensive play caller, knowing that you don't have someone that can extend the field and run past your guys, you can just scoot up a little bit more, and that affects run lanes, that affects short pass, medium pass, all that stuff. On the other hand, Green Bay Packers, Don Wall, 4 for 100 and a touchdown. Antonio Gates Jr. having a good year. He's a bigger body receiver. And, of course, Alvin Kamara, 5 for 42 out of the backfield. Mike Evans starting to get phased out a little bit here in the regular season. And maybe it's because, trying to get some other guys involved, see what they can do. I think Mike Evans is going to be a huge contributor in the playoffs. I think that's when Green Bay is really going to turn it on with him, knowing what kind of weapon he is and knowing what he brings to the table. We don't need to go ahead and see that in the regular season. Say that for the playoffs, get everybody else involved, get them reps, and now Green Bay's offense will become that much more explosive when the games really matter in the playoffs. Final score 28-21. Green Bay still atop of their division. Washington drops one. We'll go over the NFC East in a minute, but the NFC East, not only do they have to play each other, but every game outside that their division really matters. This is a tough one for Washington to drop. And the Eagles winning theirs now have a couple game lead on Washington. Here we go. The Las Vegas Raiders versus the Houston Texans. Not bad the whole way around. Everybody, 100 rushing yards, 100 rushing yards. The difference is a little bit better passing from Vegas. Vegas outscores Houston 21-6 in the second half to win the game. They were actually down 14-13 at half, but some good adjustments, getting used to the game. 34-21, a little bit more consistent. Also, Houston turns the ball over 2 times. Just can't do it. And let's get back to quarterback play. Listen. Yeah. So listen, I'm a quarterback guy. I love good quarterback play. It's what I do. Ryan Leaf, 290 in the air, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He does get sacked 3 times, but I don't know how fleet of foot he is. More of a pocket quarterback. 15-22 for 68%. And once again, I'm okay with the sacks as long as you're not throwing picks. Okay? We'd love to minimize them a little bit, but sometimes taking a sack just has to happen, whether it be because of coverage, blown assignment on the O-line, we block 5, you bring 6. It happens. On the other hand, the Houston Texans, they're trying their best. 177 yards in the air, but 2 interceptions at 10-22 for 45%. This is bad quarterback play. And so, I knowing how Mancha is, if he's got a good quarterback, he can play well. Without a good quarterback, he can't. Is it the players that make the user, or does the user make the player? Right now, for Mancha, we're starting to see he had a really good season before. Now that he's starting to construct his team a little bit more, the team's getting worse. Steinbeck, not the answer. Not sure what he's going to do moving forward, but this could be another lost year. Najee Harris, 17 for 101. Aaron Jones, 17 for 90. Really good job from these guys, with a little bit of something from Ryan Leaf to get into the end zone. Receiving wise, Henry Ruggs. This is what I mean by where's your deep threat? Who's the guy that can stretch the field? Who's the guy that can make you pay? Henry Ruggs is that guy. Okay, so if you don't play a safety over top of Ruggs, he's gonna burn you. All right, but if you play a safety over top of Ruggs, now we have some run lanes, which is what the Raiders do. So Raiders offense is just really surgical right now. They're doing a great job with Henry Ruggs. Waller contributes 4 for 69. MVS. You know, this is a tough recipe to defeat. You have an accurate quarterback, no turnovers, deep threat, run game, tight end is elite. What are you supposed to do? The answer is you got to try to outscore them. And that didn't go well for Houston. Let's look at the Texans. They've got the one guy, Harvey Harrison. Once again, one of the better receivers, but he has zero help. There's zero help here from anyone. Houston has to find a way to get some help somewhere else. They're not going to get it this season, so it's the quarterback who's horrible. Only one good receiver. The running back is good, but when you only have one receiver, one running back, a quarterback who's under 50%, you're kind of easy to play against. You're easy to game plan for. Doesn't matter how good your defense is. It's just other users, other teams are good enough. And that's the problem. A lot of guys here are really good and they can adjust. So Houston, do the best they can with what they have. They just don't have a lot. Final score, 34-20. The Raiders, I believe, are in first place in their division. Houston plummeting fast. Seahawks, Rams. Rams are getting the win. The Witness. Here's the good news for Witness. He can't commit a violation the next 2 weeks. He's going to be playing clean. The bad news is it's because a violation before, and he's got to give out 2 forced losses. Guys, you got to follow the rules. You got to run the ball. It is what it is. Witness goes down. Estrada gets it. Now, I think Estrada would have won this game regardless. He's just playing real hot. This is, I believe, is going to be Estrada's 6th win of the season. Make him 6-1, top of the NFC West. Seattle, on the other hand, I believe they're like 1 and something. Their only win coming in week 1 against the Panthers. They might have a second win. They might. And let's go ahead and let's dig into it. Let's take a look at these standings real quick, and then we're going to do a little deep dive into some quarterback play. So here we are in the North. AFC North, Browns completely taking control of this division. The Steelers, they're nowhere to be seen. And even though everybody's 4-3, this is where the matchup's going to be. It's going to be between the Bengals and the Ravens. It's a must-win for the Bengals. They have to beat the Ravens when they play. The Ravens, they can afford a loss because they'll probably be able to pick up some wins somewhere else. Bengals have to win that game. AFC South, not even a competition. Jaguars at 5-2. Texans and Colts, both under 500, and the Titans just falling away at 1-6. Easy division here. Jaguars win it. AFC East, the Bills, after starting 0-3 due to violation and quarterback suspension, have now rattled off 4 in a row with the return of Josh Allen. So 4 in a row for the Bills. The Jets at 3-3. Great surprise. The surprise of the AFC East so far. The Dolphins at 1-5 and the Patriots at 1-6. Patriots have rookie quarterback, rookie running back. We understand the Patriots are a rebuild team 100%. The Dolphins, on the other hand, having won the division last year, having felt really good about themselves, have now gone back into 1-5 bad mode. Someone's going to have to answer about that. Get in the chat. Get in Circus. Let's talk about it. Joe, what is going on in Miami? A lot of guys had you picked to win the division. You're making us look bad. The Bills and Boogie have said enough is enough. After Allen comes back, he has been a monster here, winning 4 in a row. AFC West. Chargers at 4-3, but they're not the ones that are in lead of this division. It's the Raiders. Like I said, Chiefs and Broncos are going to play tomorrow. Chiefs will win that one. If the Chiefs lose that game, that would be catastrophic, to the Chiefs, because now I don't think there's a way that they'll be able to win the division crown. Them staying at 5-2 gives that Chiefs Raiders matchup something beautiful to watch. Chiefs losing this game to the Broncos makes them a second place team, third maybe. But Chargers at 4-3. Listen, they've already dropped a couple division games. Raiders are in a roll. Look at that. 253 points scored, only 135 given up. This is the Raiders division. NFC North. Packers at 5-2. Vikings are getting the forced win, so they're going to be at 4-3. They're still a game behind with a split series, but the Packers are feeling good about themselves. They're playing good enough football to win it when they have to win it. Okay, they've scored 163 points for the season. They've only given 151. That's not a big scoring differential, but nobody cares about your scoring differential as long as you're winning. If you're losing, that's a different story. Packers at 5-2. They have 2 division losses, but they're considerably ahead of the Lions, and the Vikings have to catch up on some ground. Bears at 0-6. God bless. NFC South. Panthers, Buccaneers are on bye. The Saints, I think, the only team that had to play, they lost. They're at 0-7. NFC East. The Eagles at 6-1. They've won 6 in a row. Giants just losing to the Eagles. That's a big loss for division, as far as the division crown goes. And the football team lose to the Packers. Doesn't really hurt them for the division, but the football team's got to figure out a way to who they already lost to the Giants. They got to beat the Giants. They need to sweep the Eagles. This is what has to happen for the football team to get back in it. Right now, the Eagles are hot. They're playing really well. The Cowboys, they're taking a forced off. He's on vacation. Management and the team, they just said, you know what, take a little bit off. Don't worry about it. We're not worried about it. They're gone. They're going to fall to 2-4 with a couple extra forced losses depending on our advances. He may come back from vacation to be 2-6, and at that time, I'm sure he will get busy. NFC West. Rams at 5-1. They're getting the forced win due to vacation. Due to violation. They're going to go up to 6-1. Seahawks are going to drop to 2-5. 49ers and Cardinals, both under 500. I think the Cardinals can still string together some wins. They've got the first place schedule, but they got to figure out a way to peel together some wins. I just see them finishing at maybe 500, maybe a little bit better, but the Rams off the last place schedule. This is what matters. There's certain times where it doesn't really matter. The Cardinals on a first place schedule and a worse team has a much harder road than the Rams with a last place schedule and now a better constructed team, kind of almost how he wanted it. Rams are at 5-1. They're going to move to 6-1 ahead of the West. It's going to be interesting to watch them play and see who can win the division, but you got to lean Rams right now at this moment. So let's do it here. Hey, let's dig in. And we're going to dig in here to something that's really important to me, and it is quarterback play. We're going to look at touchdown to interception ratios and completion percentages, yards per game. Right now, Justin Fields and the Bears. Let's start with the Bears. All right, they've thrown 11 touchdowns with 9 interceptions. They're almost 1-1. Okay, so that's not really a good touchdown interception ratio. Let's explain what a good touchdown interception ratio is. Okay, usually you want to be around that 3-1. So you want to be 3 touchdowns for every interception, and that's like a good quarterback. Elite guys are like 5-1 and better. But if you can get into a game and you can finish 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, you're in a really good shot to win some games. Not even 2-1. You want to be 3-1. Anything less than that, you're subpar. We don't want you. We got to find somebody else. Anything more than that, and you got some top tier talking here. Okay. Justin Fields, he's at 60%. He's about 1-1, 9-8, averaging 240. A lot of the Bears is off of the run game, but once again, if you're 1-1, you're not throwing enough touchdowns and you're still throwing equal picks, that's not going to really result in some wins, and the Bears have not been winning. David Cummings, 9 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He is under a 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and he's at 54%. So while I understand that the Bengals have been having a good season and the Bengals have been playing well, which is good, this is not a sustainable plan. They've got to find better quarterback play out of David Cummings if they really want to get themselves back to the playoffs and in the hunt for a run. 9-12 is not good enough for any quarterback at any level. Let's put this in perspective. In all my years of coaching, high school, junior college, whatever, I've never had a quarterback with more interceptions and touchdowns. Never. Never. It's never going to happen. It ain't happening. This guy couldn't play for me. This is bad quarterback play. Bengals, they're going to have to figure out a way to change that. Let's go to the Bills. Whoa! And this is a tale of 2 seasons. Okay? This is a tale of 2 seasons. Le'Veon Washington and Teddy Bridgewater took turns. They swapped playing those first 3 games. Every game ended in a loss. They were 0-3. Some of those games were tighter than others. But it was 8 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, barely above 1-1, and they were at 60%. Wasn't a big deal, okay? Not good enough to lose the game, not good enough to win the game. It is what it is. Josh Allen is the guy. This is the dude. 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's over 4-1 right now. That's amazing. That's really good. 4-1. We're in that elite status. We talked about this, right? You're 4-1. You're in that elite status at 78%. He's averaging 390 yards. How do you compete with that? So not only is he very accurate, but he's throwing it again and again and again, deep down the field, short. It doesn't matter. This guy's a problem for people, and that's why they've won 4 in a row. Broncos. A really good rookie campaign so far. 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's at 3-1. 3-1 is good. That's normal. That's good. 3-1 is good. Okay? He's at 62%. That's good. Usually you want to be around 65 or above. Okay? And he's throwing for 317. Now the reason he's throwing for so many yards is because they're always behind. They're always losing. So I feel as though Harold Baskett is going to continue to have a phenomenal rookie season, probably in the lead for Rookie of the Year. We'll see how it all shakes out. But Broncos have more problems than the quarterback position. At least this is a stable spot for him. Browns, championship football team, championship quarterback right here. Baker Mayfield, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's a little bit over 3-1. So Baker Mayfield, once again, he's good. He's good enough. Especially when you have the threat of a guy like Nick Chubb and some of these good receivers that he has. But 20-6 means over 3-1. He's at 76%. That is winning football. So the ball's not touching the ground much, and when it does touch the ground, it's not causing turnovers. This is a big thing for the Browns. This is what is a great formula for them with a great run game that helps them continue to win. Buccaneers. They're at 10-4, so a little bit more than 2-1, or 2.5-1, at 69%. So, like I said, 3 or above is good. He's 10-4, so he's a little under good right now, which is fine because he still has more touchdowns than interceptions. 69% is very good. The problem with Love is a little bit of inconsistency against maybe some better defenses. We're going to look at Ronald Jones in the run game to how to kind of bail him out and get him some better looks. Cardinals. And the Cardinals, listen, 17 and 13. And you could say, "Oh, look at that. My guy's out here my guy's out here playing well. He's got 17 touchdowns." Yeah, but you got 13 interceptions. So you're not even 1.5 right now. You're still around that 1.2. 1.2 is not good. This is not good. So what your definition of good quarterback play is not my definition of good quarterback play. And we can all say it's different stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, 1-1, 17 and 13, that means you've turned the ball over 13 times. Okay? That's not good enough. That's not winning football. And the Cardinals are 3-4. They don't have a winning record. That's why. He is at 17%, but anytime he's erratic and misses, it results in a loss. There's a tough one for Travis Ward. Below average quarterback. We'll see how this thing continues to pan out. The Chargers. 13-12. The chat getting reckless. We love it. Stay entertained. That's what we're trying to do here. Justin Herbert, 13-12. Once again, 1-1. This is below good. This is not good play at 58%. This is all about the LA Shelbys. Shelby in the run game, Shelby in the pass game. He's starting to get Diggs involved, but he's got to cut down on the turnovers. 13-12 means you're not scoring enough points as you are giving the ball back to the other team for them to score points. This needs to be rectified in LA. The Chiefs, man oh man, 23-6. He's at almost 4-1, so he's above the good. He's almost to the elite here, which Mahomes is elite at 72%, and he's throwing for over 366 yards a game. So when you're throwing for that many yards and you're at such a high clip, you got 23 touchdowns, you're going to throw a few interceptions. 23-6, you're at about that 4-1. That is beautiful, and that's why the Chiefs have a winning record. They'll, like I said, most likely they're going to win the game tomorrow morning, and they'll move to 5-2. The Colts, 8-8. 8-8. They're 8-8. That's 1-1 apiece. 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. That's 1-1. Yeah, you're at 69%. You're not really throwing for a lot of yards. You're at 230 a game. That's decent, but it's not really that good. The problem is you're not creating that separation. This quarterback play is going to come back to hurt them. This is why they don't have a winning record. A lot of safe throws here from Cook. Something I like to tell the quarterbacks is, listen, yeah, we're trying to throw touchdowns. Yeah, we're trying to throw, 3-1 or so ratio, but you're never not going to throw interceptions. If you're not throwing interceptions, it's because I'm not taking enough chances. Because I can throw a swing all day. I can throw a drag all day. I mean, we're not going to get that picked off. But if you want to score points, which is what offenses are made to do, we're made to score points, you got to take chances. And if you're going to take chances, you got to be able to throw interceptions. You got to live with them. All right? Right now, Indianapolis Colts at 8 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I don't think they're taking enough chances, and I think a lot of these picks are coming off of drags and slants and all that stuff. Tough for them. They're going to need to improve. Let's go to the Cowboys. Billy Baker. 15-7. So he's over 2-1. Once again, over 2-1, that's good. It's below good. It's not great. It's good. You're 60%. And this is why Billy Baker and the Cowboys don't have a winning record. You want to get this thing to 3 or above. Billy Baker is a decent quarterback, but that's where it ends. He's nothing better than decent. In order for the Cowboys to really be taken serious, either Billy Baker needs to take the next step and get up to that 3-1, 4-1, or they need to move on. Dolphins, 15-9, so about 1.5. 1.5 at 59%, so he's under 60%. What do we talk about? We said 3.0. We said 65% or above completion. Sammy D is under that for both. The Dolphins struggling at 1-5. Quarterback play being the issue. There's other issues, but quarterback play really working into it. Aaron Rodgers, who's taken over for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a pass yet. He's just sitting there on the sideline. He collecting dust. Okay? 19-5 at 71%, and he's throwing for 300 a clip. 300 a game he's throwing for. 19-5. He's almost at 4. So Aaron Rodgers still in elite status. He's still in elite status. He has opened up the Eagles' offense here, and he's doing it effectively at 71%. That's why the Eagles are 6-1 on top of the NFC East quarterback play. Falcons, 12-6. So they're at 2.0 at 68%. So the one thing we'll say about Deshaun Watson and the Falcons is, and if you listen to Blessum Radio, give Blessum Radio a listen. Give Doc a listen. It's worth your time. He had on J-Dub. They talked exclusively about him and the Falcons and how they've offensively tried to mature this season in making better decisions, better reads. Well, that's working out in the completion percentage. 68% is much better than what he was at formerly. Okay, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's at 2-1. Much better than what he was, but still not to that, good enough status. They're 4-2 right now. There's still a lot of football left. He's got to keep this pace or improve in order to get to the playoffs. Football team, 9-6. So he's at like a 1.3. 66% completion's great, but he's only averaging 200 yards. Might be one of the lowest yards per game for a quarterback in all of FML. Okay? And that's because just Washington has no threats. So Tua is really struggling to score some points, put some points out there. He's only thrown 9 touchdowns out of 6 weeks, and he's thrown 6 interceptions. This is a tough one for Washington. We'll see how they continue to move on, but I don't see this getting any better for them. 49ers, 14-9. Once again, Trey Lance, he's a beast. I understand that. X Factor, great guy. But 14-9, you're like 1.4 or something like that. Okay? You're not at that 3-1. You're throwing too many interceptions here, and it's costing you games. And that's why 49ers have a losing record. 74% is amazing. So, the thing that he's going to have to figure out is how does he cut back on that 1 to 2 interceptions per game that he's throwing in order to improve his chances for winning. Because right now he's getting into some shootouts and he's losing them close, and it's usually because Trey Lance is throwing the extra pick or two. The Gigantes, Joe Burrow, the blessing and the curse. The blessing and the curse. 11 touchdowns, gunslinger, feeling great about himself. 8 interceptions, though. He's got to get that touchdown-interception ratio. He's got to flip it upside down. He's at 63%, so I also feel as though the Giants have this thing right now where they're just still experimenting, right? They're just trying to lab some things out in the games. What can Joe do? What can't he do? I'd like to see that rise, the touchdowns, not the interceptions, as the season goes on. But Giants need to figure this out because the Eagles are super hot right now. And you can lab as much as you want, but you're going to lab yourself into the 6 seed, 7 seed, and you're going to find yourself playing someone really tough. Jaguars, 23-4. My. We are at 5.2. 5.2. This is elite, top level quarterback play. And the way that he does it too is what you have to understand. He's at 72% completion, which is above the 65 that we talked about, at over 300 yards per game. So he's one of the leaders in touchdown interceptions, one of the leaders in completion percentage, one of the leaders in yards per game. And this is not just from throwing checkdowns. This is DJ Chark, Cyborg, deep, middle. This is all over the field. Zach Wilson is playing at a level, and I would almost say, maybe I should say it, he's playing at a Super Bowl level. He's playing at a Super Bowl level. I don't know what to say. All I'm saying is, maybe the stars are starting to align here in Jacksonville. Maybe this is the year where the run, the deep run. Maybe this is the one. If he keeps this up, Jaguar is really tough to stop. The Jets, 12-8. Listen, this is great. 78% at almost 300 a clip. This is great for the Jets. Okay? Now, he's at 12-8. So he's like 1.2 or something like that, right? Or 1.3. A lot of those interceptions coming early in the season. Trevor Lawrence just came off a 3-touchdown, no interception game, and they win it. Trevor Lawrence has to stop throwing the interceptions. Listen, his reads are crisp right now. He's got the best double tight package in all of FML. His tight ends, both of them are leading in his team receptions. They're probably better than a lot of your guys' wide receivers. I would take the two tight ends in New York versus the receivers in Washington. Okay, that's how bad they are. He's still got Scary Terry to take him up top. He's doing a great job. And right now, the only thing in Trevor Lawrence's way is Trevor Lawrence. He's gonna fix it. We're rooting for him. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to catch Boogie to win the division, but, and this is what everybody's hoping, maybe it's enough off of the fourth place schedule to get into the playoffs to the 7th seed. And hey, you get into the playoffs to the 7th seed, you die an honorable death right there, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to play Malibu. And when he murders you, hey, you take it on the chin that you made the playoffs, buddy. But we're rooting for you here. The Lions, 10-10. Matt Stone. He's 1-1 at 61%, so not elite quarterback play, not really great with the completions. That's why Matt Stone and the Lions are in the pooper. I believe they're 2-4, not doing well. Packers. Oof. Let's talk about it. So, Micah Fitzpatrick, listen, he was 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Once again, he's not even a 2.0. He's about 1.7. Okay? He's at 58%, but he only threw 160 yards per game. Now, if you watch the show, you identified that's because he didn't throw nothing longer than 20 yards. The Green Bay coaching staff didn't trust him. They didn't trust him to extend the field. They didn't trust him to make any good reads. He was very inaccurate all over the field when he tried to do that. So, Micah Fitzpatrick right now is just collecting dust on the sideline. They don't even let him run practice reps. He's over here getting water. They don't let him do nothing, okay? So they made the move to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. There's a few interceptions here. He's under 60%, but look at the yards per game now. He went from 160 to 295, almost doubling what the young quarterback was doing. When you do that, and you're still figuring things out, Daniel Jones, this is trial under fire. He just came right in, got off the airplane, they threw him a helmet, and they said, get in there, buddy, let's go play. He's going to make some mistakes. He's at 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, hasn't fully embraced the playbook, but guess what? That defense is doing their job. They're going to keep the learning curve nice and easy for Daniel Jones because he's not going to have to score that many points per game. I feel as though we're looking at this now, 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Later on, it's gonna be a different story. Let's go to the Panthers. 14-3 at 82% at 300 yards a game. So 14-3, we're almost at 5-1. It's 4 point something. That's really high level quarterback play. The completion percentage of 82%. And averaging 300 yards a game. That's a little bit of the difference here. And this is almost the same thing as the Jaguars and what they do, right? When the Panthers take their shots, they're connecting. So the Panthers will throw it deep, they'll throw it short, they'll throw comeback, they'll throw slant, they'll throw drag, they'll throw MOR, they'll throw post, it doesn't matter. They're connecting. So at 82%, that might be the highest in all of FML, and it's because Mac Jones and the Panthers have a really good feel with the same offensive coordinator, the same playbook, the same everything since the beginning. The Carolina Panthers do not deviate. They do not go with whatever the meta playbook is or the meta plays. They're going to do their system, how they do it, what they believe in, and you can see that right now with high quarterback play from the Panthers, 82%. They're atop of their division. The Patriots, the rookie sensation, this guy right here, maybe he's the one that wins Rookie of the Year. It's between him and Bassett over in Denver. Both teams struggling. They're not doing very good. But 18-9, he's at 2-1 at 60%, almost 300 a game. That's pretty good for Jermichael Peck. It's not equaling wins, but for a rookie campaign, this is pretty good. Love to see this grow later on. The Raiders. 16 touchdowns and no interceptions. Holy moly. Um, and before we get into the Raiders and this core, you can look at this stat line for a second. Um, the Jaguars organization, they're very clear about what they're doing here. They're not just throwing 50-50 balls and they're not just lobbing it up to a guy who's fast. They're taking calculated risks. They're running routes, they're running concepts knowing that they've already worked out in their mind our guy against this guy with this route concept because our guy's really good at it is going to be successful. They run it to perfection. And the deep shots that are 50-50 balls for the Jacksonville Jaguars are actually more 80-20 balls. So you guys are throwing 50-50. The Jags are throwing 80-20. You guys are not the same. Let's go to the Raiders. Ryan Leaf, 16 touchdowns, no interceptions. Somebody take a picture of this, save this, because we want to see what it finishes the season like. So if we were going touchdown interception ratio, he's at 16. He's at 16. This is Hall of Fame right here. Hall of Fame, 70%. The only thing we're going to say red flagish a little bit is he's at 236 yards a game. Not really a ton, but here's what the Raiders are doing, and here's why it is enough. They've got a good run game with Aaron Jones. They're using Henry Ruggs. They're using Darren Waller. This guy's not missing. Ryan Leaf has the perfect formula to be successful here. The Raiders organization, the coach, the coordinators have done a great job in crafting game plans every week. No interceptions. When you're running for over 100-something yards, you don't need to throw that much. This is a great job from the Raiders. They're keeping everybody honest. We're going to follow Ryan Leaf as the season continues. Rams at 18-5. So they're almost at 4. So he's above good quarterback play, 70%, over 300 yards. And this quarterback play directly is going to equal a 6-1 record, first place. Ravens 19-12. He's at like 1 point something. Not even 1.5, 68%, 300 yards. It's really good for the Ravens to have Lamar Jackson. His threat is clearly his legs and his ability to break the pocket and still throw strikes. Needs to cut down on the interceptions if he wants to get back to the Super Bowl. That's all there is to it. You can't turn those ball over, especially later on playing teams that are going to make you pay if they're having a high elite quarterback play. That is Jacksonville. That is the Raiders. That is the Browns at 20-6. The Ravens have thrown more interceptions with Lamar Jackson than the Raiders, Browns, Jacksonville combined. He's going to have to fix that up if he wants to go back to the Super Bowl. Playoff run, of course. First round playoff game, could win it. Going back to the Super Bowl, not a 19-12, you're not. The Saints, Kyler Murray, 12-12. He's at 1.0, 63% completion. He's at 230 yards. He's really struggled this season. He's taken 19 sacks. This is the biggest thing about him that we're going to have to go ahead and he's going to have to rectify. And I hope that the Saints rectify this. You have to get out of the pocket with Kyler Murray. Otherwise, if you don't, you're just a 5'10" statue back there. And nobody, and I mean nobody. Listen, my high school quarterback is 6'2". Okay? He stands back there. I'm good with that. Your guy's 5'10". Get him out of the pocket, roll him around. Don't take the sacks. I didn't say breaking rules. I just said you shouldn't be taking that many sacks. Seahawks. Quarterback play. They're about 13-8, 9-6 with Russell, 1.3, 62%. I mean, it's decent. It's 1.3 is not really good. It's less than decent. You would expect better from Russell Wilson, who's a much better elite quarterback. This is the coaching that's holding them down. Seahawks record is not good either. Steelers, 12-5 for Scott Hall. He's a little over 2. Like 2.2, which is really good. Averaging 292 in the air with 65% completion. This is good. He's going to need more, though. And the problem is he's got no real run game. The receiving threats are not really there. Scott Hall almost doing it all by himself. It's going to be tough sledding for him. We'll see what kind of weapons they can get Scott Hall in the future, but not bad quarterback play. Oh, Mancha 6-10, 59%, 259. This is bad. This is bad quarterback play. This is bad by Mancha. All the things that he's been doing, he's just unable to do with Steinbeck. Listen, I've played Mancha many times. A lot of us have played Mancha many times. I don't know if he's still using the New Orleans playbook. New Orleans playbook, a lot of corners, a lot of bunch, a lot of tight, a lot of drags, a lot of crossers, all that good jazz. Steinbach can't hit him. If Mancha gets his people, he can play well. If Mancha doesn't get his people, looks like it's 6-10, 59%, 259. Tough one here for the Texans. Where quarterback play matters. I think he should move on from Steinbach. Otherwise, you're just going to see this again next season. Titans. Oh, man. This is all in the AFC South. Man. 8-16. This guy is under at 50% and under 200 yards. We ain't going to talk about this dude. This dude is awful. Titans having a tough season. How long do they marry to Edwards? I don't know. Is he the quarterback of the future? Or was this a one and done for him, just a tryout, and the Titans figure something else out? And finally, the Vikings. Kellen Mond. And the Vikings are a run team. They're a run team. Don't let anybody ever tell you different. Kellen Mond's job is to hand the ball over to Thad Castle, hand the ball over to Dalvin Cook, run some play action, and make you pay for it. And he's really good at it. It's taken him to a Super Bowl. It's got him to the playoffs multiple times. Kellen Mond, struggling in his touchdown-interception ratio. He's under 2. He's not throwing for a lot of yards right now. But this needs to improve in order to make another Super Bowl appearance. 9-5 from Mond is going to be a tough one because eventually there's going to be some teams that he's going to play that are going to be better against the run. Doesn't mean that he's not going to be able to run the football because he for sure will, but he's going to need Kellen Mond to be really crisp with those play action concepts to go ahead and take control of the game and win the games where he just can't run all over everybody. So, listen, that's pretty much it. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Like I said, do me a favor. Hit me with a like and subscribe on YouTube. I'm going to download this on YouTube. You can watch anytime you want. Week 7 recap. Under further review. I appreciate you guys. Hit me with a subscription. I'm out of here. See you later.